morning, my little dumpster fire babies. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that everybody's day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. I would love for you to join this dumpster fire, so you can definitely do so by hitting that subscribe button, clicking the little bell. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, let's give this video a thumbs up and go and follow me over on Instagram. And let's go ahead and let's get on into today's video, which is testing out some new makeup. These are some of my favorite videos to film, and we do indeed have a ton. So I have this from Mcgrath. It is 2 of her holiday palettes. I have only been able to find these on her website. I have not been able to find them on like Sephora or anywhere else. Then we have the holiday. So I already have one. She came out with another blush palette. Again, I could only find this one on her website. It comes with 4 blushes and a highlighter. Also from Mcgrath, and the final thing is this liquid lipstick that she just came out with. I have a couple things from She Glam. So we have this foundation balm, which I love the L'Oreal one, so I'm hoping I love this one too. I have 2 blushes. One's a little bit more glowy, one's a little bit more matte. And then I have, I had to unbox this and our Melt unboxing, and I wanted to try this as a primer. Then we have these Sculpt powder stacks, and I'm really excited to get to kind of try these out. So I'm excited for that. And then last thing are these brushes that also came in the Melt mystery box. So if you guys are excited to see what look I come up with, what I think of all these products, then definitely keep on watching. We're going to jump right on into some swatches. So first things first, we're going to start with the eyeshadow palette. The first palette that I have swatched is called Nude Allure. Each of these palettes has 1 matte and the rest are 4 shimmers. So first off, we have Mercurial Rose, the only matte, Mahogany Angel, Coral Kiss, Plum Eclipse, wow, and then Naked Bronze. Then we're going to move on into the next palette. This is the Bronze Bliss. We have Nude Moon, La Vie en Noir, Lunar Luxury, Bronze Milk, and finally Bronze Illusion. Then we're going to move on. Here are the 4 blushes. We have Desert Orchid 2, Divine Rose, Peachy Rose, Electric Blossom, and then here's the highlighter, and this is Nude Nectar. Then moving on, we have the blushes. So we have Hush Hush right here. This is the one that's a little bit more matte. This one's supposed to be a little bit more glowy, and this one is Devoted. And then finally, for the liquid lipstick from Mcgrath, this is Spellbound. I personally always start off with my eyes. However, since there's only 2 colors, I want a little bit more depth and dimension with my eye look. So I'm going to go on into this Nomad Hudson Valley. This is such a phenomenal palette, I might add. And I am kind of thinking, so it's like a brownish shade, a darker brown, and we have kind of like this like grayish black. So what shade do I want to start with in this palette? That's always where thine question lies. Let's start off. Okay. Let's start off with Apple Cider Donut, and we will see if this provides the depth I'm hoping it does for our transition area. So I'm just going to start. I always start in the crease and then just kind of work my way up. Okay, it does have some pigment. It doesn't have as much pigment as I was thinking. But let me just building it up, and it seems to just be building really nicely. So I think we're getting to the intensity that I would like, where it's still brown, but it's a little bit more cool tone, kind of gray at the same time. So I think that'll tie in the 2 colors from the Mcgrath really well. These brushes are pretty nice. They're nice and soft. They're easy to hold. They are a little bit weighted. So like if you're used to like Morphe brushes and just kind of how like nice and lightweight that they feel, this is going to be markedly different than that. This is definitely feels a little bit more weighted. So, you know, could be good or bad. Really cute coloring, like the red and the gold. I love that. Okay. So I'm just going to take the same brush because I do like how it's nicely densed and packed. And we're going to go into that Nude Bliss, and we're going to take that Mahogany Angel shade. So that's the only matte that's in there. And quite a bit of kick up in that one. And I really just want to focus this right now just in my crease and just a little tiny bit above. Not a ton though. It almost sounds like I said autumnal. I don't know. I'm just like a little broken. Okay, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You know? Okay, these colors are really going together just super well. I think that first shade was a very good choice. And then kind of focus it right out here as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. I was afraid the mahogany was going to be maybe a little bit too warm based on the swatch, but I think it works nicely. I think it does. What is everybody's favorite part of doing their makeup? And what is your least favorite? Because I'm here to tell you, I used to be so, and I still am, let me just say this, I still am, but I used to be so into like my eyeshadow was like the best and most important part to me. I'm gonna go back into that apple cider donut, kind of just on another brush and kind of just blend out the edges and blend it up a little bit. Eyeshadow, like I will continue to always and forever buy eyeshadow palettes because to me, eyeshadow palettes give me life, okay? So to me, those are some of like the most important, but I now am just like, seriously, just like so into like good looking skin right now. Like I'm just like, you can't look any better. Okay, so then I'm going to go into that next palette, which is the Bronze Bliss. And we're going to go into that like, okay, this brush is like not really picking up the product super well. Let's see how it does, I guess. I don't know that I love this brush for trying to pack it onto my outer corner. Doesn't look bad though. Like I will say, like it doesn't look bad, but it's definitely causing this brush is causing a lot of fallout in the pan more than the other brushes did, and it's just kind of flimsy that it's really hard to pack it right in here. And I'm going to take it over just a little bit. I'm going to start off with this shade right here. This is the Naked Bronze. Wasn't that? So we're just going to start that towards like the outer to very center of the lid. I think that's really pretty. And I want to go into that shade right there. That is Luxury Lunar. Oh, this feels so good. It feels wet. And I am here. Yup, I knew that color was going to be a good choice. I just did. Sometimes you just know things. And then I'm just going to lightly tap over like the whole thing, because I really like that silver, but wow. I am back. I've got you guys a little bit more zoomed in, but this is what the eye look is looking like so far. I will say I did have to clean up quite a bit of fallout from the Pat McGrath shade, specifically like the glitters and this gray shade on the outer corner. Definitely had quite a bit of fallout. So it had fallout on the face and had some kick up in the pan. Not a huge deal breaker for me because I do my eyes first. So if you're somebody who likes to do your eyes after, probably wouldn't recommend those palettes. If you just hate fallout, no matter if you're doing your eyes first or last, probably not the palette for you either. But I don't mind. I'm just able to just like easily clean it up. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on into the priming of the face. So I really want to try, okay, first of all, this Melt Sex Foil in the shade Peaches and Cream. It's too dark as a highlighter for me, but let's like look at how glowy the skin is now via skincare. And then I'm just going to pump out about a pump and a half, and I'm going to, oh boy, this is turning me orange real quick. I don't know. Okay, all right. Well, I'm a little orange. Oompa loompa, oompa deef, oh Jesus. Okay, you can definitely tell. I don't really necessarily know that I feel like it's a little bit more glowy, I guess, than it was before. For foundation, we have the She Glam Skin Fluencer Full Coverage Foundation Balm. Mine is in the shade Porcelain. So the one that they had yesterday, that I tried yesterday or a couple videos ago, was very yellow looking as well, but upon application it wasn't. So okay, maybe this might still be a little bit yellow, but it's supposed to be, oh yeah, it's definitely definitely has quite a bit of coverage. I'll say that. It definitely is quite a bit of coverage. I'm just gonna work on blending this out. Okay. I try not to bring anything up under my eyes just because it can get really cakey really quick. Something that I've recently discovered is my skin, being as dry and textured and creasy as it is, does not need any more help looking that way. And so since I do place concealer, I just feel like I don't need to bring my foundation up over it. Let me get my mirror. Let's see what we're looking like. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. This is definitely a little bit yellow. A little bit yellow. It is full coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is full coverage. Like, we are not going anywhere. Yeah, I think I put a little bit too much on. I don't think it looks bad though. Like, it's not terrible. Like, on the cheeks it looks pretty good. On my forehead it looks pretty good. I think it's mostly just kind of in this area, which honestly, that's probably like my top place, I'm gonna be honest, for getting like really heavy and cakey in, besides underneath my eyes. Even though I do exfoliate quite often, 2 to 3 times a week. So I know the exfoliation part, we're definitely doing good and taking care of. We're now gonna move on into the cream blushes. So we have two. One's a little bit more matte and a little bit more light. And then we have one that's a little bit more glowy and a little bit more deep. So let me re-swatch them on the back of the hands and kind of see what might be the best fit for us. I really think it's going to be the matte, more matte one. I wonder if maybe we could maybe like blend them together. That's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to blend them together, actually, see what we get. Because I feel like the Hush one might be a little bit too light than what I want. But the other one is definitely a little bit more punchy than I want. So maybe if we blend them together, like, it'll be good. You know, just like blend it together. Ooh, yes, okay. I think that was a good choice. That was a very good choice. Carrington, you genius. Look at you. Wonderful. Beautiful, darling. 10 out of 10 on the Richter scale. So I'm ready to do the lower lash line right now. First I'm going to go into that Apple Cider Donut shade from the Nomad palette. And I'm just going to work on really smoking that out. And then I'm going to do something that was a little bit similar to the last trying new makeup video that I did. Wherein I take a liner that goes in my waterline, but is also so fantastic that it blends out beautifully. Just to, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then I will gladly. Do I want to go black, or do I want to maybe go a little bit more navy? Would navy look cute with this? A little bit more. Let's try navy. You know, black is always deeper, so you can always go over everything with black. You know? Yeah. A little navy. Never hurt anyone. At least not that I know of. And you'll kind of focus on smudging that. I feel like it kind of almost looks a little bit gray. based on like the eye colors that we've got going on. So I think the navy blue is good. This is the Nabla Arrow ones. There's a few of them that I really like for like lip liners, which are their more neutrals. I've heard and I've seen people use them as lip liners. As for if they're supposed to just be lip liners or both, I still have not found the answer to that. I really don't feel like both would be okay. Like maybe you could like be like, okay, I'm gonna use this one on my lips and just like not ever put it on my eye. I was like, I don't know. You know, like maybe. So my inner corner options would be this one right here, which I think could look very cute. Or we've got something that's a little bit more pinky champagne. Actually, I really like that one. We're gonna go with that one. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna take this little cute, little tiny brush. We're gonna dip into that shade. And this one is going to be Mercurial Rose. And I like to do a little swoopity boopity. And here we go. Here we go. I mean, these shades are just beautiful. I'm gonna be honest. Very beautiful. Okay. Oh, it feels like I'm never going to get over this pneumonia. Like I can't even begin to tell you guys how many antibiotics I've been on. Cough syrups, cough pills, breathing treatments. I just feel like it's never going to go away. Okay, so here are the eyes. I'm a little bit obsessed. I think they look cute. So now we're going to move on into the melt stacks. So we have this up here, which is definitely, oh, hold on. Like a little bit more bronzy, a little bit more orange. And then we have the next one. This one's a little bit more neutral and cool, which is right here. So, you know what? Okay. I'm going to start off with like the really cool shade right here. And just really focus it right along here. Just right here. And right here only. Dun, 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 dun. And just kind of focus out on the forehead. And then we'll go in with that definitely a little bit more warmer one and just kind of placate that just kind of all over the place a little bit. You know? So you still have like the chiseling, but you got some warmth here as well. It's kind of like a little bit of everything. We've got the Pat Mcgrath with the blushes and highlighter. For blush, I really kind of like this one. That one is the Divine Rose. So let's take a little bit. Again, this brush just feels very flimsy and just not very compact. It just seems like, because it's so flimsy, it just isn't really laying down the color super well. Okay. It's taking a little bit to lay down colors with some of these brushes. Not that it's the end of the world, you know, but definitely something to be mindful of. We only have one highlighting shade, which is this one right here. I'm going to take this and start to highlight, if I can, lightly, smoothly. I love her highlighting formula. So good. We only have one more thing to try, which is going to be this liquid lipstick from Pat Mcgrath in Spellbound, which makes me excited. And we are going to I was expecting something a little bit darker, just because like in the tube it looks slightly darker, I don't think it's terrible. It looks a lot lighter on camera than it does in person. Here is the completed and final look. I did throw a little bit of a gloss on top. This is Chocolate Drizzle from Give Me Glow. I wanted a little bit more of like a brown to kind of tie in the eyes since they are a little bit more cool, a little bit more brownish. So I definitely wanted to tie that in a little bit more. But let's go ahead. Let's dive on into what I think of the products, ranking them from my least favorite to my most favorite. Coming in last place is going to be this from Melt. I didn't really find it provided a ton of glow that was any different from like what my skincare had already provided. And it just made my skin orange. Of course, like the foundation went over top. I'm not sure if the foundation looked really super yellow because of this, like because this darkened up my skin, or because it just is really yellow. Not 100% for sure, but that's probably my least favorite. Next up are going to be these Melt Stacks. I really like them. I like how you have like a light bronzing powder, you have a light to medium contour powder, you have a medium to dark bronzer powder, and a medium to dark contour palette. So there's definitely something in here for all skin tones. For me, being as fair as I am, it is so easy to go overboard, and I definitely did. I was able to tame it down with some powder and then going over it with my setting spray. But I was just like, wow, this is a lot to take in. So I was like, you know, not necessarily my favorite. Next up are going to be these Melt brushes. I really like some of them, but some of them just feel so flimsy that it was just so hard to pack on the product. Case in point being like on the outer corner. It was just so flimsy that I just felt like it wasn't just like packing on there. With the blush, it was kind of like the same thing. The ones to do like the crease, I didn't have an issue with. Inner corner, I didn't have an issue with. So it just kind of is just dependent on the brush and what you're doing with it. For me, I would rather just have a more stiff type of brush, even if it's cheaper. I do love like the red and golds. I love the little butterfly. I love how these feel like a lot more weighted than you would see with like Morphe or whatever the case may be. But just not my overall favorite. Next up is this from SheGlam. This is the foundation. I don't know if the foundation was just super yellow, whatever the case may be. I will say though, this is very full coverage. This is full coverage. I tried one before where it was a little bit more medium, but it was still very hydrating, looked really good on the skin. This is very full coverage. So for me with really dry skin, or if you don't like full coverage, you're not gonna like this. With my dry skin, it just kind of does look a little bit heavy, but the rest of my face doesn't. So I would just definitely need to go just like a little bit lighter, like maybe just tap in my sponge once, because I think I tapped it in a couple of times. But honestly, all I need to do, press in once, because that automatically just goes ahead and gives you quite a bit of coverage. Like it's really able to like cover the whole entire back of my hand. So this is definitely very full coverage. I would just lightly use and build up as you would like, because it can go overboard really fast. I think I like the other SheGlam one just a little bit more because I am more into like that medium tone. Next up is these from SheGlam. They are these little cream blushes. I really liked them. I loved combining them. I loved combining them a lot. And I really like how you get two different finishes. You get a good amount of product. You know, it does blend onto the skin nicely. It's really nice and glowy. It makes your skin look really healthy. I will say, same as like with the contour that I tried yesterday, it really kind of does disappear as you put powder over it. I will say it doesn't disappear quite as much as the contour does. So I do like these more than the contour. But if I was just going to leave my skin with just creams and not set it, I think these would have been great. I do like to set my powders, or set my face with powders, just because I am usually gone a long time. Like I'm not only going to be gone for like 4 hours. I need something that's going to last, so powder helps it last a little bit longer. So it does just kind of fade. Next up is going to be this from Mcgrath, this liquid lipstick. It's very moussey. I don't find it to be overly drying. I kind of did think it was going to be like a darker type of color than what it really was. It's not the end of the world. I threw a gloss on top of it to kind of make it more of a color that I kind of wanted. Easy to do, not a big deal. If you were somebody that would really like that color, again, it's really moussey. It's not super drying. It feels nice on the lips. You know, for a liquid lipstick. Some can be just dry. Okay, this one's not the case. Next up are going to be these two palettes together. I don't think I like one more than the other. I think they each have like really pretty shimmers. I really like the mattes that come with them. For me, the one qualm is that they each only come with one matte. I would have liked maybe 2 mattes in each and then 3 shimmers. I think that would have still given you a lot of variety, a lot of versatility, but again, having more variety. So this right here is more of like your champagne silver golds. This right here is going to be more of like your browns, pinks, things like that. So depending on what you're looking for in a shimmer, in a matte, you know, you can get one, you can get both. But I did still have to bring in another palette to get my eyes to look how I wanted. So again, I just would have appreciated 1 more matte in each and then 3 shimmers. So number 1 is going to be this Pat McGrath blush and highlight palette. I love these. If you don't own all of the blushes or all of the highlighters, these are such good deals. These are like $62 for 4 full-size blushes. I'm not really for sure how much you would get of the highlighter in comparison to like her full-size highlighters, if it's more, if it's less, if it's the same, but you get 4 colors. The pigmentation is great. The highlighter is absolutely beautiful. You can build it up, you can sheer it down, and it doesn't really overly emphasize my texture because it is more of that big gelée. So there's nothing about these like little palettes that I hate. These are perfect for traveling because I could literally take 1 or 2 of these, have so many blush options, have 2 different highlight options that look good. The blushes also look really, really nice on the skin. I think her formula is just a really, really good formula when it comes to blush and highlights. It's just always like one of my top favorites. So again, that one's gonna come in number 1. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your favorite and least favorite steps in your makeup routine. What do you guys think of this overall look? Let me know all of that down below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I will see you guys over on Instagram, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!